Proper English alert. When is more bass better bass even though you have less bass? Let's find out. So although I love, crisp highs that are not fatiguing, lifelike fleshed out mids, I must admit there's a part of me that's a bass head. I love a rich, full lower bass that's there, maybe even overemphasized a bit. To me, that is the underpinnings of great sound. I don't like bloated bass. I don't like overly heavy or too artificial, but I like to know it's there. I've had battles in my room with subwoofers and the amount of bass and things of that. I will tell you that, speaker system, we're running Klipsch La Scala speakers, which are full horn loaded speakers, full horn loaded woofer, mids, and tweeter. And we've also got an SVS sub. I believe it's the 3000 PB. We've had that for a couple of years. And this kind of got me in a search because when I switched from the Cornwall speakers, which are also horn but have got a front radiating 15-inch woofer, I had difficulty integrating my sub with the horn-loaded woofers on the La Scalas. On the Cornwalls, it was easy. Just dial it in. You could do it by ear. You could do it by a little bit with a SPL meter and things of that nature. But with the horn-loaded, I could never get it matched up. So how do you blend it? How do you get better bass? Also, a lot of us fight your subwoofer is never going to be in an ideal spot, especially if it's in a family room and you've got a spouse or kids. You kind of have to put it in the corner. So I started searching for the solution. How do I get more better bass while still dealing within the limitations that I had? And that led me to this. The Anti-Mode 8033S2. Now, I am not a big proponent of DSP. Frankly, I think it gets in the way of the signal oftentimes, and you do lose something. I know people say technically you don't. My experience has been that you do. However, in the instance of the sub and the sub bass, I felt as though it was worth a try to see, even if there was a slight diminishing in it, it would be much less noticeable than on something like a high resolution La Scala speakers. So I went about it and I ordered one. Great fast shipping. Awesome. I'm going to link to their website below. Guys, I'm not making any money off of this. I bought this with my own money. Okay. And the reason why I don't have the unit to show you is because it's actually in the system right now. And I'm just going to cut to the chase. It was really surprising. First of all, super easy to use. You follow the instructions, you plug it in. What I did is I actually ran into it with the RCA from the preamp outs. And then out of the actual DSP unit itself, I put it right on top of the sub into the back of the sub with the RCA. Now, I did make a mistake in the beginning. I actually ran, because I have stereo RCA plugs coming out of my preamp, or rather integrated. I had that running into the sub directly. Turns out on this unit, even though you can hook up multiple subs, you're only to use one for one sub. So I figured that out, took care of that. And then you literally press the top two buttons. Let it do its thing. It comes with a microphone. You plug in the microphone. You put it in your sitting position. Make sure it's not too loud, the sub. And it's going to do a bunch of sweeps and things of that nature. You do want to turn off any type of crossovers or low frequency boost or anything like that. I am not running an audio video receiver. I'm running a Luxman integrated amp, so I didn't have any of that to worry about. And then my SVS runs off of their SVS app, which is awesome. Turned off the all of the things in that. Just let the sub run by itself. And it's going to do a series of sweeps. Probably about 15 minutes worth, 20 minutes worth, anywhere from 5 to 7. And that's it. I mean, you sit there, you wait for the two lights, they're blinking while it's going on. When they stop blinking, it's done. And what's great about this is that they actually want you to put the sub in what is traditionally a less than ideal position. So for instance, I pushed the sub up against my front wall, which was great because I got it out of the room. You can put it in the corner. They want you to put it into areas where you're going to increase the bass output. And that is traditionally not what you want to do with the sub. What you want to do is you want to make it more even, or even though it's never really even sound output. So you want to pull it away. You really want to try and make sure that you don't have those extra peaks. It's easier for the DSP system to shave off the top of peaks. It's not going to add to the nulls. So by really loading it up, getting as many of the peaks as possible, and then letting it trim off of there, you're going to get the best bass performance possible. So I pushed it up against the wall, ran the test, and I was actually astonished because whereas before when I adjust my sub, I would have to run it at -2 dBs to get any type of appreciable bass. Now I was running the app, I actually lowered the sub to -11, and I got just this even smooth bass response integrated with the horn woofers on the Klipsch, much easier. And I noticed a lot more information that before had been covered up and masked by all the peaks and valleys of the sub output. Because it was smoother, it sounded better, it sounded quicker, and I was able to just notice a lot of information on the large woofers, at the lower end of the large woofers on the Klipsch that I hadn't noticed before. So by all accounts, it was a huge success. Having said that, I was frankly kind of astonished at the difference in the sound. It's so much smoother. It's less boomy. It's less overwhelming, but all the bass is still there. You can feel it better. It just seems more rhythmic. So I really could not be more pleased with it. The retail on this, guys, in euros, I think was 332 euros plus shipping. Cheap money. You're going to spend thousands of dollars on a decent sub. Who knows how much you've got tied up in speakers and cables and the rest of your equipment. This is a no-brainer, and you really need this. Now, I'm just touching the basics on this. It has the ability, when you read the manual, to add bass boost in different frequencies and to add multiple subs, and it's really quite advanced. I keep looking at the box. That's why if I'm looking away. But I didn't touch on any of that. I just stuck with the basic use. I think a lot of you are going to do that. Try it, and it really is going to be a huge benefit. I can't imagine any person in any scenario where you won't be pleased on this and think, why didn't I do this sooner? It's great. And again, especially if you've got a sub in a corner or a less than ideal position, this is really going to go a long way to smoothing out that response and making everything sound better. So guys, couldn't give this a higher recommendation than I do, especially for the price. It's silly easy to do. Just make sure you follow the instructions. Do it in the order they talk about. Wrap up the microphone when you're done. Just put it back in the box, put it in a closet somewhere, and you got everything you need. But it's a no-brainer. The other great thing I will leave you with real quick is it's okay if you move your sub or move your speakers or do anything like that. It is literally so easy. You just press the top two buttons again, let it do its own thing, and it's done. It doesn't get any easier than that. So guys, check them out below. You definitely need this. I'll see you in the next one.